Good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv// Ice Cream Uploads. How are we all doing? Welcome into Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and I still have lurgy bass in my voice and a fly flying around in front of me. Get out of here. Get out of here. Anyway, welcome in. How are you doing? How's things, babe?
Yeah, it's fantastic, Graham.
I'll through to you then because
what a fucking set of, I don't know, lurgy contained ill people we must be.
See, I just threw to you then. I was going to say, my name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by the man that we call Bib. How's things, Bib? But I couldn't do that because I felt a cough coming in my throat. So I was like, how's things, Bib? So I just threw it to you just as you coughed, and then I coughed at the same time. Nice. It's like welcoming everyone to get into the stream. Yeah.
And this is why you don't see the ICU studio behind me.
Yeah, exactly. So I am at home because I have lurgy. Bibby is at home because he also has the lurgy. So yes, we are bringing you the streams. We're not that ill. We don't have COVID, but we are just ill enough to. It's not worth mixing these days. Obviously, people have been away from other people for so long that everyone's immune systems are just a little bit weaker. So we are bringing you the scoop, even though we aren't in the studio. This time last week, the studio was being renovated and brought back to life. So we brought you the scoop from the studio last Thursday, and then we just gave up on it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I got to do a scoop yesterday from the studio, and it looks fantastic. Even when it's just one of us in there. But yeah, I can't wait for us to be back in there properly without us. I'm not blaming the high fives last week because they was fantastic high fives, worthy of any kind of passing of diseases. But I'm not blaming that.
It was the long sessions of cuddling afterwards. That's probably where it's come from. God damn it. God damn it. If you're in the chat, though, please do feel free to get involved. As mentioned, we do have a little bit of the lurgy, so apologies. There will probably be sniffs and coughs and splutters throughout the stream, but we will still bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games, because this is the scoop, and that's just what we do. Also, before anyone asks, people are going to go, is Graham's room on fire? No, my room isn't on fire. This is my PUBG care package humidifier jobber that's spitting out all the soil into the room. So yay. Do you know, I might just put it actually out of sight and just let the smoke steam like come in, so people are like, is Graham Edge?
You could just say that it's a smoking hot podcast, Graham. You could have gone down that route with it and been super cheesy.
I mean, don't need to say that. It says it for himself. Let's. Anyway, if you are in the chat, as I said, do please feel free to get involved. Just like Ads and Lake have done, they've used our not only exclusive subscriber remote, it's an exclusive subscriber remote that is now animated exceptionally well. And it also has an audio cue, which, bearing in mind, Bibby is ill, sounds a little bit like this.
This is going to be very tame, but hello.
There we go. That'll do. Enix, Ritz, welcome in. The man with all the PS5s, even more than me. Imagine that. Tazebad says, ish. Good morning, Tazebad. How are you doing, dude? 1.5 meter cuddles, naughty boys. Exactly. Graham's smoking hash. Do you know what? I could be, to be fair. I can't tell. There's albasol in that, and I can't even sniff it. It's just not happening. I was actually going to ask if you had a sore throat. Yes, there's a little bit sore. Me and Babe just feel like we're not manly enough, so we're just trying to add extra bass. Hey, how are you doing? But yeah, how's things, Aratrax? How's things, dude? Yeah, look at that dropping in those. Look at the animated emotes. How good is that? And the RIP one as well. The RIP one, I think might even be my favorite animated emote that we've got, just because it's just so good. It's so good. I just did a Rona test, negative though. Let's go. GG's.
I did one this morning as well, just to make sure, because I didn't want to be that guy that had to send a message to Graham and Matt this morning saying, I think you're going to have to close down the office, lads. I didn't want to be that guy.
Imagine being that person. Imagine getting coronavirus when you've just got back into
this podcast has done that.
Okay. Anyway, let's move ahead. If you don't know what this is the scoop. Obviously, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is the scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. We are bringing you your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. The biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories. We want your thoughts and impressions. So if you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. And then give us your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's what this show is about. You can share those with us live on Twitch, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. It's 11:30. It's not too bad. It's okay. We go live at 10 a.m. ish. We do work in the video games industry. We are now back in full capacity in the video games industry. So the work stuff comes first, which is why you've probably seen less streams from us over the last couple of weeks. We will be bringing more streams as we do get to grips with the whole new work-life balance kind of thing. It will probably be more after-hour streams, more evening streams, more weekend streams, because obviously we'll have the scoop throughout the workday, but we still have to do the workday stuff. So we will be bringing you scoops. Anyone that does stick around, even though the schedule might change, we appreciate you very, very much. As mentioned, though, do feel free to get involved across the course of this show and any other show, but this show in particular, because this is the scoop. This podcast is not only a podcast that's live streamed on Twitch, but it gets turned into an audio podcast and a video podcast, a video on YouTube and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. Also, before we start jumping in to talk about the news, we have announced our loot drop. We've taken the vote away because you're just going to vote for Ice Cream Uploads merchandise, aren't you, really? Let's be honest. I know we had a little break last month with NBA 2K22, but before that, it was Ice Cream Uploads merch, Ice Cream Uploads merch, Ice Cream Uploads merch, 3 months in a row. So we've taken the decision away for this month. Also, because we've had a little bit of support from the games industry itself. So we will be giving away a copy of Call of Duty Vanguard to one subscriber on the 1st of November. Well, actually, it'll be, does it come out on the, when does it, is it like the 5th or the 4th of November it comes out? But anyway, our competition closes on the 1st, so we will announce the winner. You probably won't get the game on
5th.
that day. There you go.
You're right.
So you'll get it at the end of that week. We'll announce it on the Monday, and you'll know for the entirety of that week that you'll have the full game, Call of Duty Vanguard, for when it launches. So, there you go. One person who is a subscriber on the 1st of November gets that. And that's the beauty of the loot drop. Subscribers win prizes. One person every month gets a prize. This month it is a copy of Call of Duty Vanguard on the platform of your choice. You don't have to do anything to get involved if you're a sub already and you're in our Discord, and your Discord accounts and Twitch accounts are linked. You're in with a giveaway. So if you don't want it, then don't worry. You could still win it and pass it on to someone. If you do want it, then don't worry. You're already in it. If you're not a sub though, and you haven't joined the Discord and you haven't linked your accounts, you could be missing out on the chance to win free stuff. This month Vanguard, next month who knows. You can also enter for free, by the way, with your Prime sub. I say free, you pay for Prime, but you get what I'm saying. Gifted subs as well do count, so if you do get a gifty over the next couple of weeks, then make sure you're in the Discord as well off the back of that. Elsewhere, exclamation mark, insert coin. Let's give it a few seconds. Do let me know when we are back. Let me just type refresh. Boom. We are back. Nice. I did actually know that this was going to be coming because I'd been lurking in streams. So we were in MC Fixer stream this morning. We were in West stream this morning. There was a few others that was hopping between them all. And you can, do you know when you're in a chat and you get that welcome to the chat message? If your internet shits itself, you get that message again. And I've had that like 5 times, which is my internet refreshing basically. So this could happen again throughout the stream today. There's not much I can do other than kill my entire setup and restart the internet. But Danielle's also using it for work, so it's probably gonna be the internet reflects mine and Bibby's personas today. We are ill, so it's probably gonna go out again. So apologies. Do feel free to keep coming back though. We will still be on until the show's finished, obviously.
Sickness.
Exactly. I was just saying we will be starting next month off in pretty good stead. We'll start off by giving away a copy of Call of Duty Vanguard at the start of November, and then, like, is it 9 days after that? We will be live on Insert Coin as well. So feel free to join us throughout all of this month, and then well into next month. And then after that, we build up to the birthday period, Ice Cream Uploads, myself and Bibby all having birthdays within the same period. And then after that, it's Christmas. Oh my God. It just keeps coming here on twitch.tv/.
It's going to be a lot.
Ice Cream Uploads. Yeah. Jumping into the split screen. Sky doesn't like you advertising if they don't get a cut. Exactly. That's what it is. Fuckers. Take more of our money. Better internet for you. Do you know what? I would love if that was even an option. It's just not. It's just not. I've been looking at OpenReach's fiber broadband rollout, and Bibby might get it in the next 3 years. I don't think Salford, my area of Salford, is in line for any sort of updates in the next. What? No way! Aratrax gifting 10 subs. That is ridiculous. Aratrax.
That is legendary behaviour.
Honestly. I don't even think we've ever had 10 gifted at once. We've had 5s, but I'm not sure. Maybe we have, but I can't remember it if we have. Aratrax gifting 10 subs in the chat. If you do get a gifted sub off Aratrax, do feel free to say thank you. Obviously, it's just manners. Artemis, Hades, Metabolic Engine, Delta Beard, J. Harley, Chelsea, Dank Hagate, Night Devil, and Copmark all enjoy your gifted subs. You absolute
Legend
hero.
behavior.
Aratrax, thank you very much.
Outside of September as well, so it's just costing more. Again, appreciate it so much.
Yeah, that's I'm not gonna that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's super appreciated though. Thank you very much. Do you know what? You've just set the bar again. We dropped 2 subs this morning, so we had 107 subs. We dropped down to 105. That 10 subs has just pushed us up to 115 subscribers, which is now our new record. That's the highest we have ever been. Also, we are now, I've said this so many times over the last month, we are now just 10 subs away from the next sub emote slot. Imagine. Like this time last month, we were like, do you know, if we get 10 more subs, we'll get to 60, and then we'll get a new emote, and now we're at 115, 10 away from the next one. That's ridiculous. Thank you very much, Aratrax. You absolute hero. Appreciate it very much. Aratrax has gifted 20 subs! No way. What? You absolute... That's madness. That is madness.
I think you've got more money than sense at this point.
That is ridiculous. I mean, we'd never had 10 gifters in one go, let alone 20. Okay, Aratrax. Settle down, mate. I mean, you've... Wow, do you know what? I'm not even going to read out the number of names. 30 people in the chat this morning have had a gifted sub from Aratrax. If you are in the chat, do feel free to say thank you very much, obviously, because that is ridiculous. But Aratrax, that is absolutely massively appreciated. We now need to figure out how to fill that emote slot. That's 2 emote slots that we now have to fill up that we hadn't even planned for. So this is ridiculous. Yes, do you know, it's incredible though. So anyone that is a subscriber now will have more emotes going forward as well. Once we get our emotes drawn up, edited, and uploaded to the site, you will be able to use more emotes. So you get more bang for your buck. Thank you very much, Aratrax. You absolute hero. I'll send you a selfie and use that as an emote. Do you know what? I won't commit to doing that because obviously a lot of people are like, "Oh, is it just buy selfies and stuff like that? Buy emotes?" But I absolutely will for a month. I will definitely do that for a month. If you, because me and Bibby are getting some of our headshot stuff clipped up for like the yeah, exactly like that sort of stuff. We're going to get some emotes of us done up. I will 100% put you in for a month. So yeah, if you do drop us a picture in the Discord and we will get that done in there. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Unbelievable.
That is ridiculous.
Like genuinely, like 30 subs in 4 minutes. Fuck me. we're 135 subscribers. My God. Wow. This is unbelievable.
That is absolute madness. That is genuinely super appreciate that. That is ridiculous. Although we're only 14 subs away from that. No. Shut up. I'm good, thanks. No, you've said it now. You've got to say it, Aratrax. I'm sorry. You've got to say it. We've done Ben Ward dirty from Next Gen Base. We've got his not like this emote in the chat. So
that's my favourite one. That
it's legally binding.
It's not even animated. It's my favourite emote.
Thank you very much, dude. I literally rolled up for you a few seconds after they dropped. Johnny, no. It picks at random though, so if you're not in the chat, it favors people that are in the chat. I don't know the stats. I'm gonna just pick numbers out of my ass. I think it's like 70% likely to go to someone in the chat, but then 30% likely to someone that's a follower, and then after that, it just kind of picks from the vicinity. There's some sort of algorithm as to who it thinks might benefit from the gift is. So I'm surprised you didn't get one. You just need to spend more time in the chat, Johnny. That's all it is. I'm sorry, mate. I mean, forget that you've got life and your own streams and YouTube content and work and all of that sort of stuff. Just spend all day, every day here on twitch.tv/ice-cream-pods. Thank you very much. See, this is ridiculous because not only did Aratrax drop that about an hour ago, it's still going. There we go. Has it just finished? I think nope, it's still going. It's still going. Ian2K TV. Oh, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, I think. Super to go. Thank you very much, Aratrax. That is ridiculous. Thank you very much, dude.
It's amazing.
Gagad says, for fuck's sake, how am I supposed to win the loot drop again? Someone's got to win it. To be fair, Pirate did win it last time. And Pirate's been in every single loot drop since we started it and has not had a sniff. As soon as it becomes super difficult to win the loot drop, Pirate wins it. So there you go. There you go. Absolutely appreciate it. I gifted 5 subs the other day, and the streamer has the nerve to say I should have done tipping instead because he gets more money. Quickest I've ever unfollowed someone. What an absolute tit. What an absolute tit. It's not even about the money. I mean, it is for a lot of people, obviously. I mean, we do work alongside this. All of the revenue and stuff that comes into this, into our stream, goes into adding to our stream, building our relationships, getting us more design assets and stuff like that, which allows us to build relationships to get better quality mics, which is why our audio is better than it was last year. And so you can see visual differences where the money goes in our stream. You can hear the audible differences. But the money is important, but it's not really about that. It's about the significance of showing support, and it's about the fact that you get ad-free viewing, and it's about the fact that you get emotes and stuff like that. So your 5 gifted subs
and then a loot drop.
Yeah, well, exactly. But like those 5,
which I have to scroll down the list now. I didn't used to have to scroll down the list. I have to scroll down the list of people that are in our loot drop, which is a nice problem to have. Maybe not for Gagad because he's got less chance of winning now. But
well, he did call me a Southern softy yesterday, so that's what you get. It's so bizarre. I mean, we should stop making friends with nice Scottish people because I'm fed up of being Southerner. I've been a Northerner my whole life, and now I'm Southern. God damn it. The SU studio looks strangely similar to Bibby's home. I don't know what you mean.
This is a PNG behind me. What are you on about?
Oh, fuck, I've forgotten where
the
thing is to change it. I changed it like just yesterday as well. Is it? Dude? Nope. Dude? Nope.
Yeah, like the donations thing, I understand for some people it'll probably be a bit miffed because Twitch takes 50%. But from my standpoint anyway, the fact that there's more people there, there's technically 135 people to have a chance of winning the loot drop, and that for me is the biggest thing because I want more people to have the experience of potentially winning it. But just having more people in our Discord, that would be fantastic because it has over like the last 6 months it started to pick up more traction and more people are using it as like a day-to-day talking platform rather than it just waiting for us to go live, that was my end goal of having the Discord in the first place. So like, I don't want the conversation to stop about video games when we go offline at usually an hour and a half after we go live with the scoop. I don't want the conversation of video games to stop. So the more people that keep on joining that, the more that they keep on sticking around. And that for me that was the end goal. That's the whole point of building an ICU community. And it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you are a subscriber that's game over kind of thing. It's just a nice perk to have that we can then obviously give something back to you guys, which we have been doing for about 18-19 months. In fact, it was longer than that. We started doing it before we started working from home. So yeah, it's probably pushing on 2 years at this point.
The scoop, as we found out when we were in the studio last week, that was 2 years to the day since we had our pilot episode of the scoop, but we'd been doing Ice Cream Uploads streams for even longer than that. So yeah, long old time. Johnny says gifting subs is so cool as the people who can't use the emotes get a chance to. It's such a nice way for the community to spread good vibes. 100%. And that's the thing for me is if you want to financially, I can hear something but I don't know what's happening. Chappers!
Loot drop odds mudded.
Loot drop odds murdered. Chappers with a £3 dono. Thank you very much. That's how you should give us the money. None of this sub stuff, because we get... I'm only joking. Calm down. No, but that's what I was just talking about then. Chappers, thank you very much for the dono. You absolute heroes this morning.
Yeah.
What I was saying then is that gifting subs is, you put some money in your streamer's pocket, which is nice. Gary Clark as well. Just let me finish my sentence, man. With extending your tier 1 through November. That's it. Gary wants that copy of Vanguard and whatever else is going to be coming in the next months.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Cheap bastard.
Honestly. Thank you very much, Mr. Gary Clark. I appreciate you. You put money in your streamer's pocket when you gift subs, but you also help someone's viewing experience. Like Johnny says, they get emotes. I mean, we've spent a lot of time and tweaking and adding to our emotes. So these emotes in the chat, you've seen those evolve over time. You've seen us add new ones in, not the lull one, because that's obviously Twitch's. I pressed that on by accident. But Ben Ward's face, the not like this, that emote exists because of us having banter as a chat. People might not know why it's there, and we can share that. There's a long story behind it. I won't share it now. But all of that stuff has come from our chat evolving, and people can't necessarily afford to pay for that. Gifting subs means that some people will get access to those emotes, which is an incredible thing. Plus, ad-free viewing. How frustrating is it when you load up a stream and you have to wait through 30 seconds of adverts or so on? But some people get rid of that stuff when they get the gifted sub, so it's huge. So if a streamer ever says, just give me the money, 100% unfollow that person, because he's not there to make content. He, she, they, whatever, are not there to make content for you. They are there to make profit. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I want from my content creators, from my perspective. Anyway. Sir Cheap Bastard, I think you'll find, baby. I remember back when there was just let's go, hello, stay frosty and rip. Exactly. And now we've got some that are hidden behind extra paywalls that are only there not to make people do tier 2 and tier 3, just so that we've got emotes and stuff, like things like obviously raid hype. If someone types exclamation mark raid hype and exclamation mark sub hype in the chat, those should pull through the tier 2 or 3 emotes that you guys can't use. And the reason we've put that exclamation mark sub hype and exclamation mark raid hype there is so that you can use those without having to be a tier 2 and tier 3 subscriber. If not, we just go, no, if you want to use them, you have to give us more money. Whereas we're like, no, we want to give you all the emotes. Just so yeah. But anyway, do you know what? That's a whole tangent. I know we've gone off track because Aratrax is ridiculous with his generosity. 30 gifted subs already. Plus Mr. Garlic Clark dropping another sub. Plus Chappers mudding the loot drop odds with his £3 dono as well. Thank you very much. Genuinely, that is ridiculously appreciated. Yeah. Okay. Back in the room. One final call. If anyone did get a sub, and you're now sat here thinking, where did this sub come from? What is Isikriam Uplawards? Well, welcome in. We are Ice Cream Uploads. My name's Graham. This is Bit. We are bringing you the biggest, the best American stories in the world of video games. I'm going to start jumping into that now. If you are watching this on YouTube and you've just skipped through 20 minutes of conversations about gifted subs, well, you're missing out on a lot. Do join us live on Twitch. You could get yourself gifted subs like that, or just get involved in the chat. But today's news is pretty much a doozy, and it's actually not linked to the fact that our next loot drop is Call of Duty, but Call of Duty is the lead story of the day. Warzone has a new anti-cheat system, and it looks to be set to be revealed on Wednesday, which is today. I actually had an email on this. This wasn't even linked to this story. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. A cheaters beware email. Cheaters beware, and it's kind of it's almost like written as if it was like some sort of poem or some sort of speech, and it's throwing down the gauntlet. Basically, Warzone believe their new anti-cheat system could fix the issues that Warzone has had with cheats, which I like to see. However, I'm kind of worried because they've kind of gone, yeah, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough, which with cheats, that makes them come and have a go because they think they're hard enough. So we'll see if it's good enough. We'll go through all of the story of that as our first story of the day. Then we'll jump into the other stories, which include the fact that EA has extended its football player likeness deal as it mulls a potential FIFA name change. So the FIFA Pro license that's in FIFA, that has been extended, even though the full name of the game might change. We'll go through that. Then we'll jump into a story that we've touched on previously. Epic Games is now crediting Among Us Innersloth as an inspiration for Fortnite's imposter mode. Remember a few weeks, maybe a couple of months back, Fortnite had a game mode called Impostors, and we were saying it's a bit sus that they were talking about being hard done to from bigger companies and then shat all over Among Us. Well, it seems like either they've realised that they've done wrong and they've tried to fix that, or they've realised that they've done wrong and they've tried to fix that and make money off that. It's probably the second one, but we'll go through the story of what is happening with that one. That's a story that looks like it's updating as we go. If it hasn't updated, I'll refresh it when we get to it. Then we will potentially jump into the stories that we shelved yesterday, but because we've had such a long start to the show, we might not. Those stories will be having a look at Saints Row's open world and Nintendo Switch, their online, not screwing Europe. As I said yesterday, I'll go through all the details of that when we get to it. We might not get to it. But babe, Warzone.
Yeah.
Anti-cheats. I mean, we don't do a lot of... We've not done a lot of Warzone over the last 6 months or so, and we don't tend to play PC anyway, so there's a lot of PC stuff that we are missing out on. Obviously, it's crossplay; it still drops into it. But if I say Warzone and cheating, what's your initial thoughts on that? What's your knee-jerk reaction?
That is rife, and there's a reason why content creators have started to disappear from that community.
Well, that might be about to change. Tom Ivan at VGC says Warzone's new anti-cheat system looks set to be revealed on Wednesday. The system is due to launch later this year alongside the game's new World War II map. So Activision looks set to unveil Call of Duty Warzone's new anti-cheat system on Wednesday. In a message addressed to cheaters, the company suggested it plans to reveal new methods to combat cheating tomorrow. Quote, cheating ruins the fun for everyone, it said on Tuesday. No one likes a cheater. Our goal is to deliver a fun and fair gaming experience for our developers, for our fans, and most importantly, for Call of Duty players everywhere. Cheaters aren't welcome. There's no tolerance for cheaters, and soon you'll know what that means. You know, I didn't even realise that email that I've got is actually in the body of the article, so it's embedded within the tweet there. Plans for a new anti-cheat system were confirmed in August when Activision announced Call of Duty Vanguard. Actually, they didn't. Call of Duty Vanguard was announced. Activision wasn't anywhere near it at the announcement, should I say. It was just Activision disappeared and then came back. But anyway, Warzone is set to make Call of Duty history with a brand new main map launching later this year, the company said at the time. With development led by Raven Software, Warzone will also feature a new PC anti-cheat system across the entire experience when it launches with the new map. Warzone's new World War II Pacific map will arrive shortly after Vanguard's release on November the 5th. Activision claims to have issued over 500,000 Warzone permabans since the free-to-play shooter launched in March 2020. The game's creative director told VGC in April that he shared fan frustration over cheating in the smash hit, which has attracted over 100 million players. Amos Hodge said he was upset that cheaters were ruining some of the best work he'd ever done. Cheating is handled by our security team, he said. But what I will say is that we have reporting tools. We ban a ton of people, and no one hates the cheaters more than we do. We make this content for the players, and while you're upset that it ruined your game, I'm upset that it's ruining some of the best work that I've done in my life. I made this content for players, and I know that everyone around the team feels that way, Hodge continued. We put our hearts into this content. We have 100 million players. It's been out a year. This is a huge stage and some of the best work we've ever done. And to have cheaters come in and ruin the game bothers us more than anyone. I know the security team are on top of it, and they are continually going to make updates. Confirming a VGC exclusive from earlier this year, Raven unveiled the new Warzone map in September. We'll leave that there. We don't need to go through the other bits. But Warzone's new anti-cheat system. We knew it was coming. We knew they were going to work on a new anti-cheat system. That's been mentioned already. Was it back in August they announced that? We should be getting the full details, or at least some of the details. I mean, you can't give all of the details away from an anti-cheat system because that kind of shows your cards. But what are your thoughts, babe?
They make it sound like it's a threat. And I think that's probably the tone that they was going for. I think they've probably been super pissed off overall about the way of that people have been trying to ruin other people's fun in this game mode. Like the amount of content creators that they have ended up actually losing due to this due to cheating through exploits. I don't know, through wall hacks or floating through the floor and then ended up on the other side of the map and things like that that have been ruining everybody else's fun across the way. This is the threat, and I hope it's come down to the point where they actually know what the issue is, and they have a giant red button that when they press that giant red button, everything gets sorted out. And I think that's the kind of image that they want to get people to subscribe to. They've mentioned this kind of thing before, this kind of stuff before with their anti-cheat tactics, and until I see some kind of results, I will always be skeptical of this because it makes it, again, it sounds like a threat, but is it going to be an empty threat? And I think that's the vibe that I've got from previous announcements like this. But I don't think I've ever had an email from Activision in my own personal inbox that isn't like through an ICU one or something like that that state that they are attacking cheaters and hit them where it hurts the most. So I mean, this tweet and emails were sent 15 hours ago. I imagine within the next 6 hours, we're going to get some more news. I actually checked their Instagram as we were reading through the news article and to see if anything else has been posted since, and nothing relates to these just yet. So, yeah, I mean, I'm very, very, very interested to see in the next 6 hours what this will bring us.
Just going to jump back through the chat. Pez Geek, good morning. Enjoy the gifted sub, by the way. I think Pez Geek was one of them. He was, yes. Pez Geek enjoyed the gifted. You got a gifted sub from Aratrax, so do feel free to say thank you very much. Anti-cheat can't fix trash game content. It says Aratrax. Gaggad says, have we any stories today? We get there. We'll get there.
I think the timelines will be very effective on YouTube today.
So is there new anti-cheat system that they actually have one now, says Chappers? Maybe. And it says games literally get hacked within a matter of a few hours, especially anti-cheats. Don't know why they put this out. I mean, it's marketing, innit? That's what it is. They've put it out because it was so widely popularized, whatever the word is that sounds something like that. It could be that one. That the game had cheats and had cheaters and was rife with cheaters, to use the word that Bibby used when I asked him what his thoughts are. And that was it. If you weren't a Call of Duty player, you knew that Call of Duty players were experiencing cheating in their games because it had just gone that far in terms of the news. That's a victim of success. If your game is successful, people want to play it. The news wants to talk about it. Cheaters want to bring it down, and then the news want to talk about the cheaters bringing it down. And they want to build something up to see it fall back down again. They being media, news, and so on. So Warzone has been through that. So naturally, to fight back against that, you come out and say, "Okay, fuck it, we've won. We've already got it out." You are setting yourself up invariably for a fall, though. Let me just jump back through the comments. I'll come back to where I was on that point there. David says, wasn't COD's last, and it's supposed to be the be-all and end-all, and was bypassed within 48 hours or so-ish. They never fully committed to doing anti-cheat, though. But this is the bit that I was talking about. Madge, if I'm playing a game, and they announce quote, dare you to be able to cheat now message to all, I'd be really annoyed at the red flag to a bull type approach. That is it for me. Red flag to a bull. Because it's almost impossible. People don't want to hear this. A lot of gamers don't want to hear this. They just go, get rid of the cheats. It's like it's as simple as taking a tea bag out of your brew. Oh, shit, I've got a tea bag in it, and it's gone. Ta-da, cheat's gone. I mean, cheating evolves. Cheaters evolves. The systems around it all evolve. It's almost impossible to fully eradicate cheaters. You just need to have a system that makes it less intrusive as possible, or as little intrusion from it as possible. That's if you can get through with not too many cheaters and systems that are quick to react, then that's the best you can have in terms of anti-cheat. Anti-cheat isn't so much about stopping cheats, as in, okay, it's gone. It's about fixing and learning and developing what the new techniques are to get around it. And this red flag to a bull, I mean, we've talked at length over the last 6 months, 12 months, about how developers have used the, what's it called, the red whatever, their own anti-cheat stuff, and how developers have paid hackers when they've figured out, or modders, when they've figured out, actually, we've got something that goes around all your systems. Grand Theft Auto now loads faster on PCs and consoles because of modders. So they're willing to throw money at people because coding is so complex that there's no fully blocked off way of doing something. So this red rag to a bull, if modders and hackers and stuff are out there and they have the potential to earn millions, hundreds of millions, maybe billions, which we saw. Like there was raids in was it Korea or China or something a few weeks back. It could be China, and maybe I've just got Korea in my mind because PUBG was one of the games that was in it, which is obviously a Korean game. But they raided these hackers things, and when you think of hackers, you think, okay, a couple of guys in a dark, dingy apartment or a basement sort of thing. Yeah, but no, when they raided this place, they had Lamborghinis and everything because they had hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars worth of investment from people paying for cheats and stuff. So it's a huge business. So as much as Activision or Raven or whoever is working on the anti-cheat, they may have hundreds of people working on that. The cheaters may also have hundreds of people, if not thousands of people working on that too. The difference is Activision's people are working 9 to 5. The cheaters are probably working 16-hour days because it's their livelihood, not just working for the man kind of thing. So it's difficult. So I sympathise with any game that is front and centre in the world's gaze, like Warzone has been for the last 2 years, because you're a victim of your own success. It's not something you can really fight back against. I'm not so sure that the red rag to a bull type approach is the best way about it, though. It's like, yeah, come on, have a go. Go on then. Come on. Come at me, bro.
I thought they're not going to be scared, are they? Let's be honest. They're not going to be sat there going, oh, God, okay, maybe I'm not going to go into this game and cheat. They'll be fucking laughing. They know full well it's fallen on deaf ears the last couple of times, so what makes this time any different?
Yeah. I mean, the thing for me is it's marketing because me, Bib, you guys in the chat, we've been around video games. We understand marketing a bit more than others. But a lot of people that are just casual gamers will see Call of Duty is rife with cheating. Oh, actually, Activision have just said it's fixed, so I'm gonna buy the new Call of Duty, and a lot of people will buy it off the back of that. Oh no, actually, I've seen news that said it's fixed now, so there's no issues. So cheating is fine. So a lot of people will go buy the game. Yeah, this is great. 2 weeks later, there's fucking loads of cheaters. I thought they said it was fixed. Activision's like, it's all right, we already got your money, mate. It works. It's fine for us. So yeah, thank you. And that is a lot of it, which is it's not a bad thing. They are confident in their system. They're not lying. They are saying that they can take out the cheaters, and they probably will take out a bunch of them. But for how long? For how many of them? So it's a marketing statement. It's the absolute right statement. We don't want cheaters. We want to get rid of them. Says any game in the world. It's just they've said it pretty strongly. That's the difference. So Warzone's new anti-cheat system, I appreciate. I'm on board with the red rag to a bull kind of thing. Not so much, but that's just heavy marketing against heavy cheating. So
you know what would have been great if they'd just pressed the shiny red button and then waited for people to go to social media. You know, like I love to use this example, but if you own like a copied version of Batman Arkham Asylum, there's a certain bit where you have to cross the room on 2 ledges, and it's got poison in the middle of it, and you cannot cross that room if you've got a copied version of the game. You can only do it if you had the original one. That's how people was going onto the forums and saying, look, I can't get across this platform. Is anyone else having the same issue? And then people were just able to find out what their gamer tags was, what game they was playing, because I've obviously been able to rip this game, and it's a bent version of it. So I'd love stuff like that, because people will just go to social media and say, look, my game's not working. I've got the specific error code. What does that mean? Then what happens? People just get outed as cheaters straight away, and before they know it, they'll end up deleting the posts and stuff like that. But that was the best version of people getting caught out that I've ever seen.
Football Manager did the error code. Once you get into like 6 seasons in or whatever, error code AB123 or whatever it was pops up, and then they set up a dummy account and then set up a thread saying, "Hi, anyone? Has anyone else got this AB123 error? It keeps popping up in my game." And then they responded with their official one on the forum saying, yeah, we've come across this. If anyone gets this error, just send us a message with your gamer tag, your whatever, and we'll look into it. And then everyone that sent their stuff through, they waited until the mailbox filled up and just went, nope, get out of here.
GTA 4 did it as well, didn't they? So the camera was just constantly pissed. So because you can get drunk in it, and the camera angle would go all dead fuzzy and just bouncing all the time. But obviously, if you had a copied version of the game, it would just happen permanently. Like there's no way that you could get around it. Like stuff like that makes me piss.
See, I love. I mean, I love the present yourself for banned approach that Football Manager had, but that Batman one is just genius. Putting it just out of reach and like, why can't I do this? I'd love for that to have never been mentioned, and just 10 years later on, just like, oh yeah, by the way, we did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Suckers.
That'd be quality.
Okay, let's jump back through the comments. I give it 2 weeks before it fails, says Ads. 2 weeks? Head explodes, total recall style, says Madge. Get ready for a surprise. They just want to be controversial to gain its player base back. While it's still big, they lost a lot of their bigger players in the game. I think it will come back, though. I mean, it's content creation, isn't it, in that sort of sense? It is quite faddy. Call of Duty was in the mud for years. I mean, that I always forget because I didn't give a shit about it at that period of time, but that Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare, super progressive space race warfare era, not asked, nobody was. There was a reason why it was mega downvoted. But then, with Black Ops 4 and Blackout, and then Modern Warfare and Warzone, we turned a corner and it became popular again, and everyone got back on board with it again. Call of Duty is always a game that will be successful, unless they completely balls it up. If the game is good and it's cheating that's making it crap, then that will be something that comes and goes, but the game is still good. If they can figure out ways of getting around that, changing the attitudes around it and stuff, it's fine. If the game, though, at its core is still good, let's use... I'm trying to think of Shroud. If Shroud was playing and then thought, you know, too many cheaters, fuck this, I'm going to leave. Because Shroud, I've not seen him playing Warzone for quite a long time.
Courage did it, didn't he? Famously.
Well, has he jumped away from it?
Yeah, he put like a massive announcement saying that he's playing with his mental health, and he can't make content on it anymore because he gets into the final circle and people are shooting him from like the other side of the map or through the floor and that. So famously disbanded his YouTube COD content essentially.
I did wonder why Apex is playing now. I did wonder why.
I think so. Yeah.
So there you go. I didn't even know it. But those players will come back because they are, and they're not shills. I don't want to say that. A lot of people will go, "Oh, he's just a shill chasing the money." No, what he is a professional content creator that needs to feed himself, his family. He's got Lamborghinis or whatever the feck he drives around in, that big 4x4 thing. That's why I'm doing a video for it. That stuff comes from somewhere, and that comes from being a professional. Yeah, he may have turned his back on Call of Duty because it's not right for his mental health, but having a big wedge of cash also stabilizes your mental health. So if the game comes out and he jumps in and he's enjoying it and his community are enjoying it, then that can carry you through the bad times. Once that novelty wears off, then that's when it does attack your mental health. That's when he stepped away from it. So the new Call of Duty comes out, people want that hit that Call of Duty gives you. There's a reason why Call of Duty is still here a million years later, and it's because it gives you that hit. You know it's good when it's good. It's not good when it's not, obviously. But yeah, they'll come back. They'll come back. Not from the corporate shield perspective, but just because audiences want it. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize as well, is a lot of people think the big game players do what they want. They do to an extent, but they also do what their community wants. If they make content on something that their community just do not vibe with, they lose following, they lose traction, they lose viewers, they lose money, they lose revenue, which changes everything for them. They do, to an extent, do what they want to do, but they also are guided by their community. So if their community is saying, why are you not playing Warzone? Play Warzone, play Warzone. There's new Warzone stuff, let's play Warzone. Then he's going to play Warzone. So they'll come back.
The doc did it, didn't it? People was whinging at him to get back into PUBG for the longest time, and then he went back. Funnily enough, he actually played it for about 3 or 4 hours, and he actually enjoyed it not that long ago. So you never know, he may end up playing it a lot more. But yeah, like you say, I mean, from an Activision standpoint and Call of Duty standpoint, they have some of the world's biggest content creators playing this game that they are not paying for. They may have been sponsored in the past, like on launch day or something like that, and they paid them however much money it is for them to be able to play that game for 3 or 4 hours. you would assume that they'd probably end up sticking around because it's the biggest game around, and that's what people do. Especially high-profile content creators like that. If they leave, that's like 50,000 people not watching their products. If that person who has millions of followers who stream that game daily then turns around and said, "Your game is shit, mate. I'm not playing this anymore. It's just not a good vibe at all." That's potentially 50,001 person going to be leaving your platform, and because they'll probably go and play what their favorite streamer is going to be playing, whether they go back to Apex, and Apex would have then had 50,001 person go and join their servers again. So if you're having people like that saying no to the game, yeah, it's a difficult situation for them to be able to get out of.
Well, we'll find out later on today exactly what the system is due to be, or at least what their words around it are. Obviously, we won't get the intricacies of an anti-cheat system because, one, a lot of people don't give a shit about the intricacies of an anti-cheat system, and two, they can't show you behind the curtain because what's the point in that then? This is how we ban you all. Okay, let's not do that. So we'll find out. Whatever that detail is, we will share that on tomorrow's episode of The Scoop. Let's jump through the comments before we move ahead then. Where did we get to? Hope it lasts a long time. Hate cheaters in online shooters. 100% match. It's big business making cheats for these huge games. Throwing competitive gameplay with real money available for winning, and that only adds to the demand for cheats. It's a horrible cycle to gaming. I dare say everyone here and listening have experienced a cheater in their games, no matter how old they are. 100%. 100%. If it's not PC players cheating, it's people using Cronus Max auto aims on console. Check out iLotus UK on Twitch for that, by the way. iCronus. I'm only joking. He's not really. If anyone doesn't know, Lotus doesn't use a Cronus. It just is that good that it seems like he does. I know a guy in college who made WoW bots and RuneScape miners and made over 400 grand. And that's the thing, though, is it's the same with scalpers. If people are willing to cheat the system and people are willing to fund them cheating the system, then it makes sense. It doesn't make sense from an end user perspective, but there is logic to cheaters, cheat makers, should I say? Because I was in a stream. I don't know if it was TSM Break or someone a while ago, and he was saying, "I understand cheat makers because they are making content for profit, just like a streamer would be." It's the cheaters that I don't understand, because cheaters are paying money to be duped, paying money for a false sense of satisfaction. And that's the bit that I don't get. I can't relate to someone that cheats because they take that empty win as a win, and I could not take that. I'd be like, well, what's the point? Why am I doing this? It's like playing a Master League on super beginner level kind of thing, and it's like, well, I've started out with bargain basement team. I'm playing Bayern Munich in a preseason friendly who've got fucking Lewandowski up front, and I've scored 7 past them. So what's the point? Where do I go from here? It's just like. But that's anyway. Do you know what? We'll put in that's a whole tangent. They should be working with hackers and offering bounties for discovering exploits. I don't think giving chocolate treats is enough. I mean, it could be a bounty, could be a Twix. I think they need to give money instead, mate. I think you're completely off the mark there, Tito. But do you know what? You tried, so that's all again. Sorry, if you're not from the UK, a bounty is a coconut chocolate bar. It's fine. Issue is with everyone going on with Activision and the company not being popular, a lot of people probably cheat despite them. That's also very true. Good point. Good point. Problem with GTA Online is that the game doesn't know you are modding if you use an external tool. You can only get bans via reports, or if the devs figure out what tool you use and implement a block for it in game. So what is the cheating situation like with GTA then? I mean, you don't hear a lot about cheating. Is it a big thing? Is it something that exists and is a bit of an annoyance but isn't everywhere? Because I genuinely didn't even know that. I mean, I assumed that there was mods and stuff, but I didn't know that there was cheating in GTA Online. That's interesting. It'll be back till the cheats are back. Exactly. Apex, another game riddled with cheats. Exactly. To be fair, the gunplay is fun in Warzone, and it is one of the better made battle royales. I mean, gunplay is still miles behind the likes of a PUBG or something, but it is an exceptionally well made battle royale. Very high pace, which is what puts me off. I like a bit more of the strategy around it, but it's a really good game. I really like playing Warzone. I just have to get into the mind frame. It's like the unlearning PES to play FIFA. I need to unlearn PUBG to play it Warzone, but it's good. Corporate shills like ICU, maybe.
Is that M Bibbs who was giving us shit on Twitter in reply to us at one point to Vern, saying that aren't jelly the guys that are sellouts, and he wasn't. He was being 100% genuine. I'm sure he was giving us shit because if it is, I would fucking love to bring the bandana down on that cunt. I'm fairly certain it is. I think he might have changed his name, but I'm fairly certain it is. He was loves nothing more than to give slide digs. So yeah, if it is, I'd fucking love to do that.
Pow. Enix says, remember a big streamer moving away from his regular content of Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's gone, no. Old Republic and high viewership crashed that hard he had to quit streaming and work full time again. I mean, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. It's not just what the content creator wants; it's what the viewers want as well. So if the viewers want the Star Wars: The Old Republic content, and you don't do that Star Wars: The Old Republic content because you've lost love with it, then you should expect to see your viewership drop. That's just par for the course. It's like going to an Italian restaurant because you want the Italian food, and then you sit down and you realize it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, mate, we're just a lychee outlet now. We sell only lychees. It's like, fuck that. I want my cheese, not lychees. Where's the pizza? Where's the lasagna and shit? So yeah, no. If it's not what you want, you get up and leave, and that's the same thing with content creation. People consume content like they're consuming food, and if they're not in the mood for your content, then they'll go somewhere else and get the content that they want. So it does make sense. Play State of Decay. Where's State of Decay, Graham? Play State of Decay. Did that work? Maybe. It's a good game, that, to be fair. We do need to jump back in State of Decay. I really enjoyed that game. It'll be waffle, waffle, waffle. We've got big balls. We're in control. Waffle, waffle, waffle. And in 2 weeks, it fails. Exactly. Miss Casper, hello. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for chatting to me. I was up silly o'clock last night. Couldn't sleep, obviously at Lurgy. I was jumping in Bally's stream. I jumped in Candy Bear's stream to say hi for thanks dropping into mine, which is where Miss Casper was. And we were talking all about being COVID zombies. So there we are. That's back up to speed. Anyway, I'd score 7 on Legendary. Of course you would. It's horrible. All you get is modders these days. GTA is dead. That's why. They still have over 300,000 player base, but 79% of them are modders. Fuck. Anyway, let's put a pin in this conversation. We can stop talking about Call of Duty now because we've been paid to talk about it because we are absolute corporate shill sellouts, 100% confirmed.
Yeah.
By the way. And let's jump into our next story that we've 100% hashtag ad sponsored, being paid to say good things about, and that is that EA has extended football player likeness deals as it molds potential FIFA name change. Tom Ivan at the VGC has at VGC has this story, and it says it's renewed, quote, long-term partnership with Players Union FIFA Pro announced. Electronic Arts has extended a deal enabling it to use the names and likenesses of thousands of professional football players in its games. The publisher announced a, quote, renewed long-term partnership with Football Players Union FIFA Pro on Tuesday. Quote, our players regularly remind us that one of the most important aspects of an EA Sports experience is the deep immersion created through authentic use of the world's greatest leagues, teams, and talent. It's how we continue to uniquely blur the lines between the digital and physical worlds of football, said David Jackson, Vice President of Brand for EA Sports. Earlier this month, EA confirmed it was, quote, exploring the idea of renaming its football franchise and was reviewing its naming rights agreement with the World Football's governing body, FIFA. It has since emerged that the company has filed trademark applications for EA Sports FC, which could potentially be the new name for the franchise should it choose to rebrand the series. Were EA to cut ties with FIFA, it would still hold many separate league, player, and stadium licensing agreements with other partners. Quote, the collective strength of EA Sports football franchise is fueled by 300 plus licensed partners, including FIFA Pro, who help generate the game's unparalleled authenticity both now and long into the future, EA claimed this week. So, EA has extended the FIFA Pro license, which gives access to the likenesses, the names, and the details of shitloads. Even though it may be moving away from the FIFA brand. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I'd love to know how much it costs them to be able to have that kind of sponsorship in the first place, because like you said, or like we covered the other day, they look likely to be dropping, or they're trying to drop the FIFA name, or they may just be ramping that price down. We don't technically want your stuff. Okay, we can have it a lot cheaper. We don't know what their plate is. But I'm interested to know how much it costs them to be able to have these licenses in the first place, because to have access to all of the players, all of their likeness and stuff like that, I imagine it's a very pretty penny. It's what Football Manager have recently just been done for in terms of Manchester United. So they're not allowed to have their logo or their name or anything like that in the game anymore. So I wonder how much it costs to have all of this stuff. I imagine it's again, very pretty penny. Very, very pretty penny.
Yeah, I reckon it would be. Because, like, I think FIFA Pro covers all currently. I can't remember. It's something to do with. It's something like, and I could be wrong. Don't take this as gospel. That players sign up to the FIFA Pro Players Union, and the idea of that union is that players then basically command better representation, better coverage, better legal representation and stuff. So you can't just go, oh, we've got the Premiership, so therefore we've got Titus Bramble's image. It's like, well, no, he's not currently. He's not currently playing in the Premiership, so you can't use his image. This is the FIFA Pro. Anyway, they cover all of that sort of stuff, so you can't just use players' likenesses and faces, whether they're playing or not, which is why things like Legends have to be signed individually, because they're not covered by FIFA Pro license, because they're not currently playing in the game. But it's definitely an exceptional license in terms of quality, because we all remember the days when we were all fond of playing with the Von Mistel Rounds and stuff like that in old school Pezzas, the Roberto Larcoses, but
Oranges 11.
Yeah, exactly. But beyond that, the bit of humour and banter that goes with it, that sadly is something for a generation that has passed. If you experience that when we experienced that, then you experienced a really good thing. That's probably not going to happen again, because licensing and brand awareness in video games in general, let alone sports games, which are more brand aware than any other games out there, that just doesn't wash as much these days. So if you had Kylian Mbappe as your star striker on the front of the game, it's just it's not going to work the same as it did. So FIFA Pro license is definitely that's the license that I would never see EA letting go of. The FIFA name, okay, fair enough. It's what your game is called, but it's literally just like the a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. Yeah, if you called a rose a shit plant, then probably won't be able to sell that as much. But if you called it like a posy, which is like another name for a flower, it's like, okay, it was similar, it's still quite the same. So calling it EA Sports FC, it's kind of here or there. People are probably still going to call it FIFA or whatever. But yeah, it makes sense to extend the FIFA Pro license just as much as it would make sense to ditch the FIFA. It's going to save an absolute wedge of cash. I still think there is a very, very good chance that EA can go, okay, we're going to call it EA Sports FC. So I'll pick round figures in that, because I don't know what it is. That 10 million that we give you every year, or every license agreement, FIFA, to use the word FIFA, you either lose all 10 million, or we'll do you a deal. We'll do it for 3 million now, maybe 5. And if FIFA go, okay, we'll take 5. Then EA go, okay, well, we all continue happy as Larry. We keep using your brand and stick it on our game, and you earn 5 million. We save 5 million. Everyone's a winner, baby. That's the truth. It's just whether FIFA then go, actually, where FIFA, mate? Nah, not interested. We earn millions off the average working man, making them think that tickets should be 90 quid for a football game.
Yeah, it's acceptable. It's very acceptable.
Where did we get to? EA Sports Football Club, they even got trademarks for it. I'm glad they extended the FIFA Pro license. Me too. That stuff is great for immersion across the board. That just means that there's just, with or without restrictions, there's a very high likelihood that most teams will have real players or real representations and stuff like that. It's not a cover-all thing. I don't think it works the same in Germany, which is why you don't get like fake Bundesligas and things like that. But it just means that any football game that has the FIFA Pro licensing is horrendous. We talk about console wars and having console exclusives. That's what licensing is. It's about who can spend the most money to lock other people out of content. I don't like licensing, never have done, but I'm a PES guy, so that's kind of standard. Whereas a lot of FIFA guys obviously will probably go, well, licensing has been a big part of our game, and it has been, and it's a big part of the success. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. But FIFA Pro is a license that's a really good one because it just means, okay, fill your boots, use the players, unless they specifically go, I don't want to be involved. They've trademarked it, but companies trademark a lot of names when they're deciding stuff. Exactly. Fun fact: EA also already had a game called EA Sports Football Club. That could be part of the reason why the trademark has been done. It could be something as simple as that's a brand that they already have, and they just want to keep the license to that, so they've just trademarked it again. You never
know that.
I didn't know either. Like how Sony patent a bunch of shit they don't intend to use but may in the future. A lot of companies do that. Big companies will just protect stuff for the sake of it. Graham puts on deep voice in voice changer EA Sports. It's in the game. I don't even need to put on the deep voice in voice mod anymore. It's just my voice at the moment today. EA. Free-to-play name change and new game engine with hypermotion, I predict. A rose doesn't smell sweet. It smells like shit, though. Pass. Don't know what roses you smell, but the ones here smell good. Also pass. Yes, my Monopoly City of Salford edition announced. Really? Salford precinct better be on there. My house better be on there. I have hay fever, so don't go around sniffing roses, says ads. Touche. So yeah, that's enough corporate shilling on that. By the way, EA Sports FIFA, the best game that we've just spoken about until the next game, which is also going to be the best game in the world because they can pay us and stuff. Actually, I'm going to jump back to that. What was the context? I mean, why? What was it mentioned? What did it? Corporate shield.
I'm sure we was talking to Vern in a conversation. And it was just like some mad shade saying, why would you listen to two guys who were paid by Konami? In that sense, like, yeah, we'll trust the words of two guys that are paid by Konami or something like that. It was ages ago, but I hold no grudges, Graham.
Yeah, I mean, why would you ever trust anyone that works at McDonald's that likes a Big Mac? Do they really like the Big Mac, though? Are they just saying that because they're paid by the man? Really? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway. It's funny. It's funny. God bless the internet. You have an opinion. How dare you get money for opinions as well? Do you know what? I don't like the fact that you get paid to do something that I would like to do, so therefore you're a shill. Back in the room. Epic Games now credits Among Us Innersloth as inspiration for Fortnite's imposter mode. This article has a bunch of updates, so we could be jumping backwards and forwards. I will just read it from top to bottom rather than jumping down through the updates. So we may get facts that have already been covered up throughout the article. This is written by Tom Phillips at Eurogamer, and it says, Update! Twitter Branter hints at official collab. Okay, I don't know what Branter is, but there we go. Do you know what? No, we'll start with the original story because just now that the starting the article with now that Epic has finally, no, that just sounds stupid. So original story posted at 11:11. Epic Games has acknowledged Among Us developer Innersloth for inspiration for Fortnite's fun but familiar Impostors mode. Fortnite Impostors launched back in August as a limited time mode for up to 10 players. It's a carbon copy of Among Us Murder in the Dark style gameplay, rebuilt by Epic into a flashier 3D experience where you play as your favorite Fortnite characters. The mode has proved popular, and unlike some of Epic's other game riffs, such as Fortnite's homage to Crazy Taxi, Impostors appears to be sticking around. Today brings new updates to the mode and Epic's acknowledgement of its origins. In a blog post today detailing Fortnite's new version 18.2 patch, Epic notes the update brings improvements to Impostors, the game mode inspired by Among Us from Innersloth. We've checked in-game, and this line doesn't appear to have been added there, just on Epic's blog. As for what's new, a role bias feature will let you choose whether you'd prefer to be an agent or an imposter, although your choice is not always guaranteed. Open voice chat has also been added. Split Among Us like into those who are/aren't eliminated. Back when Impostors launched, the mode sparked criticism from numerous Innersloth developers. Members of the indie studio variously said they were sad, pretty bummed, and kind of offended. The team also said it had been attempting some kind of Fortnite collaboration. We've contacted both Epic and Innersloth today to find out if any behind-the-scenes progress has been made. And now up to the update. Now that Epic has finally acknowledged the source of its inspiration for Fortnite's social deduction in-space Impostors mode, the banter has begun in earnest on Twitter. Is that Branter, as in like brand banter? Is that what it is? Is that a fucking thing? Ugh.
Branters, I think. Never
Yeah,
heard that before.
never. Yeah, the Branter has begun in earnest on Twitter, pointing to an official collaboration with Among Us and its developer Innersloth. In response to a tweet announcing Fortnite's 18.2 update, which also credited Among Us as the inspiration for Impostors, Innersloth offered up a googly eye emoji before the official Fortnite account swept in with a "Hey at Among Us game, since you're here, we've got something we wanted to ask you." A
Ugh.
little more forced chumminess follows in the insufferable manner of these things, but it all ends in an affirmative from Innersloth after Epic writes, "Big fans, we never got to talk about how you inspired us. What do you think about working on something fun together sometime?" that's Epic going, "We spent it. We've done ourselves dirty by making ourselves look shittier. How can we fix this? By throwing money at it?" Anyway, the exchange is certainly a world away from Innersloth's initial response to the surprise announcement of Fortnite's imposter mode back in August, when the development team variously said it was started pretty, but okay, we've gone through that. What other than, I don't know, a giant wad of Fortnite money could possibly have changed since then? What a line. Following Epic's initial hat tip to Among Us earlier, Innersloth's community director Victoria Tran told Eurogamer, "We got in touch with Epic. It's cool to see them acknowledging their inspiration now. Who knows what the future will hold?" You love to see a bit of corporate shilling, don't you? Just absolute sellouts. It's the best way. That's how all industries should be founded. What other than, I don't know, a giant wad of Fortnite money could possibly have changed since then, Bib? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's this one. It's like you say. I like the fact now that we have got to a point where they're acknowledging the fact that they have ripped them off. Is this now going to be Is this now going to be a form of compensation for them? Because they're outright not going to say, "Okay, well, we copied you. Here's a load of money." That's not going to be the case. So, is it going to be a Freeman's for them that they can have their stuff in there, or they'll get a cut of some of the Among Us things? Because I don't think outright they're going to give them compensation. I think this might be a nice way for them to be able to acknowledge it and give them something back.
I'm trying to get it to fit on screen. Fortnite's Impostors. Boom, there we go. Yeah, I can see this being money. All I can see is this being money. If not money, if not money in terms of paying for collaboration, to cover up the mistakes that they've clearly done before, I can see this being maybe even a buyout. Fortnite, Epic bought out Mediatonic that made Fall Guys. Could we just see Epic going, "Oh, do you know what? We'll have Innersloth as well." This could be the start of that sort of stuff. Yeah, I don't know where they go though. Like with that, do we get Among Us characters in Fortnite and vice versa? Do we have Fortnite
Yeah.
looking things in Among Us? Yeah, I think that's probably it. Oh look, we've got an official collab here now, and we'll pay the money that we should have paid in the first place before people actually realised that we were trying to rip them off. And then when they did realise, here you go, here's the money we were going to give you all along. By the way. Big fans. We never got to talk about how you inspired us, says Fortnite. We never got to talk about the fact that we ripped you off. Is what it should have said. That's what it really meant. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Do you know what? We are going to quickly fly through these next two articles just because they've been moved from yesterday to today. And we're actually not doing too bad for time, to say the fact that we had a good 20-minute chat whilst Aratrax gave every man and his mum a sub round here. So the next bit of news from Sean Prescott of PC Gamer. This is one that we were going to talk about yesterday, and it's that a substantial peak at Saints Row's open world is available. Sun-drenched plains and neon-soaked streets. Let me just hit play on the video. I'm going to mute it, though. So an NPC gets run down within the first 10 seconds, there we go, splat, of this Saints Row, this new Saints Row video, even though it's ostensibly a calm showcase of the reboot's open world expanse. Business as usual then, but Santo Lezo, I think, sure does look pretty in a gritty bullets for breakfast kind of way. The video above comes courtesy of Game Informer and spends most of its time dwelling on the different kinds of locale you'll find in the next Saints Row. The sandy outback looks great for some high-speed chaos, but some of the urban areas look more exciting. Check out the neon-lit suburbia at the 39-second mark, which is what's on screen now and gone. Santo Alezo is apparently inspired by the American Southwest, and you can definitely see that in the footage. I'm also getting Los Santos vibes, perhaps inevitably. Scheduled for release on February 25th, Saints Row will reportedly be less edgy compared to its predecessors, wrote Morgan, after sampling the game. If triple jumps and launch pads strewn throughout a sci-fi cityscape is edgy, then I'll just have blades, thanks. Have you watched this, Bib? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it looks mega. Like, I just want more Saints Row. This is again, I'm a massive fan of the franchise. The first one, I think, was an absolute game changer. I think it combated or went against Grand Theft Auto, which was kind of to their own detriment at some point because they actually changed the way that the direction that they was going in for an obvious reason, because they was never going to compete eventually. The grittiness of it would never. I mean, it was a very colourful version of it, but the grittiness and the storylines and things like that would never have been able to compete. And I like the direction that it went. This, I think, is probably going to be, from what I'm seeing in the screenshots and the videos that are playing, is hopefully the best version of the game that we are ever going to get. It looks magnificent. And I can't wait to get stuck into it.
Yeah, this does look good. This does look good. I think it was actually Itani. So when Bib was off, Itani jumped in and guest hosted, was on the scoop when we had some information on Saints Row. It might have been post Gamescom or something like that. I can't quite remember when it was. But Itani was basically, we had the conversation. He was a big fan of Saints Row in the early days and then dropped off. And I was kind of similar, although it was kind of like on a spectrum. You've probably got Itani is old school Saints Row. Bibby, I seem to remember you've played a little bit more than I have of the more recent ones, and I was kind of a bit of both. I mean, I do like some of the logic of why they've gone crazy and wild, because how do you compete against Grand Theft Auto? You just don't. Games in different verticals just release outside of the Grand Theft Auto window because everything gets swallowed up by everyone and his mum.
Yeah.
Exactly. Games in different verticals get swallowed up by not Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. It's not just racing stuff or open world stuff. You'll get sports games that avoid it. Shooters avoid it because you just can't compete. So a game that's exactly alike would never compete. The only reason Saints Row took off, and I say this fully aware that I enjoyed the hell out of the first Saints Row game on my Xbox 360. The only reason it took off is because Grand Theft Auto wasn't around. Saints Row hit the launch window when GTA wasn't there. So people wanted GTA, and it was a GTA alike. So we all run around Stillwater dressed in purple because we couldn't do the GTA stuff. It then progressed that with GTA 2 and then realized, okay, we just can't compete here. So GTA 3, it went on a different path, which is fine. I do feel that it went, for me, I think it went too far down that path in terms of, okay, I got it, the memes and the jokes and stuff with that. Memes do get to a point where they need to be retired. We need new memes or new stories, different direction. And I like the fact that they've gone in a different direction. A lot of people aren't open for this, but we had, what was that crap Saints Row game that Agents of Mayhem. That was them trying to rebrand Saints Row. That was terrible, in my opinion. This I am very much on board for, and it looks incredible. It looks really, really good. Hopefully, it's as good as it looks. So there you go. That was a substantial peek at Saints Row's open world. There was a 2-minute video embedded in that article. If you want to see the video for yourself to look at it in full 4K detail, I say 4K, I don't actually know what it's up to. At least 1080 because it's on YouTube. Then do you know what? I'll drop you the link to the article in the chat. Boom. We takes it from PC Gamer. So there you go. Fill your boots. And then now finally we'll jump over from PC Gamer to The Gamer. Not a platform agnostic one, not specific. Andrea Sheeran at The Gamer has the last article. It says, Nintendo Switch Online won't screw Europe. Easy Tiger. Nintendo 64 library is available in 60Hz. So Nintendo of Europe confirmed its Nintendo 64 selections won't be limited to slower PAL versions. So if you're using Nintendo Switch Online from Europe, you no longer need to worry about being saddled exclusively with 50Hz versions of your favorite N64 games. Nintendo of Europe confirmed today that its library will include 60Hz English language versions of N64 classics. PAL releases of N64 games didn't quite run as fast as their NTSC counterparts, with the former clocking in at 50Hz, while North American NTSC titles ran at 60Hz. Those old PAL releases did run some degree slower on your old CRT setups, but Nintendo's online service won't make those the norm this time around. The 60Hz versions will be the default in Nintendo's online service, though some games will still include the option to play the PAL original launchers with language options. Eurogamer highlighted fan concerns late last month, shortly after Nintendo's new Direct showcase. Back on the Wii's Virtual Console service, Nintendo did provide 60Hz options for some of its European releases, so it's not the first time the company has acknowledged a preference for its classics. Nintendo Switch Online has been out for quite some time, but Nintendo, do you know, we'll leave that. We'll leave that there. We'll leave that there. Do you know, this doesn't really affect me, so I will let you have all of the say on this one. Is this something that you did consider? The fact that, for those that don't know, PAL is basically a platform version that we got in Europe, and it was 50Hz content. America had NTSC, so you needed to buy, just like you get region lock games. That was a similar sort of thing. That's the best way to describe it. I didn't realize that NTSC had an extra 10 Hz over PAL, though. Is that something that you would have considered when it came to playing Nintendo Switch Online?
Do you know what? I wouldn't have done until it was the PlayStation Classic. Like I didn't know this kind of thing existed, if I'm being perfectly honest. Until the PlayStation Classic came out. I've just seen that Aratrax has gifted 140 bits again. Absolute legend. Keep your money in your pocket, man. You spent far more than enough today. But yeah, it wasn't. I never even thought it was a problem until the PlayStation Classic came out, and then everyone was kicking off that we'd have. I can't remember what game it was. Was it Metal Gear Solid? There was a version of a game that ran slower over here than it did in America, and America was pissed off because that's the version that they was getting, or it was vice versa. I can't necessarily remember. I didn't even know this was a thing until that came out, and now I'm kind of thinking, well, I want the fastest version. I want the best version available, and it looks like that is going to be the case with this.
Yeah, I mean, yes. is my input. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. The fact that most games just had hertz differences. There were some little language differences, and then there was obviously some bigger content differences. The fact that they will be offering some options in there is decent, but at the end of the day, most people will be just happy enough with 60Hz and minor differences, just so you have a better output. 60Hz essentially translates to 60 FPS, so that's what we'll take. Yes, please. Nice.
Best version of the games, if possible. Again, I didn't even know this was a thing.
I didn't know this was a thing, but now we do. Aratrax says, "E-girl to the right, boys." Yes, we've mentioned this before. So that's obviously Amaranth, and it says everyone loses with the Twitch fart meta. I don't know if that is something that judges, because I spend a lot of time on Twitch, obviously. So a lot of my internet cookies will be Twitch, and I don't know if that's cookie related. So it's like, oh, this guy's on Twitch. Let's give him this Twitch article, and that undoubtedly will be one of the most popular articles on the Gamer website, because they've gone for Twitch fart meta. That, if that's not going to get you clicking on an article, I don't know what is. If you're interested in Twitch and it says a fart meta, yes, please. Also, pretty lady in the thumbnail. Okay, well, that's two things then. Pretty lady and fart meta. Pretty lady that farts? What is this? A lot of people are clicking it just off the back of that. So that will probably, I assume, be one of the Gamer's most read Twitch-related articles. So it's probably a case of, it could just be a case of, okay, let's just put this article out to everyone, and therefore it's kind of like the rich get richer. That article is the most popular, so it keeps getting shown, which makes it more popular. Or it could be the fact that it's cookies based, and I use Twitch a lot, so they're showing it to me specifically. Either way, do expect to see Amaranth's farts on the side of the Gamer articles for the foreseeable, because it's been there for at least 9 months now. So yeah, there you go.
It must have high clicks if it's there, though. Surely that's like a ranking thing.
I mean, I think, like I say, is it like what's it called? A self-fulfilling prophecy. Is it getting high clicks because it's there? I mean, it would have got high clicks to start with, just because of the concept. Let's say, pretty girl, fart meta, boom, okay, clicks. But is it getting clicks now because it's there? And will it keep getting clicks because it's there? It's one of those things, like, I don't know. You watch Amaranth a lot, admitted. Maybe. I actually don't. The ASMR stuff just just doesn't work for me. We had plenty of conversations in this. Bridie, who's no longer on the channel, used to talk about ASMR stuff, and she was trying to see whether she got into it. Luke didn't mind it, but it just doesn't
for me.
It's not for me. It's weird. It's weird. And the fact, forget the ASMR stuff. I understand it soothes people from an audio perspective or whatever, but just looking at a microphone that's got ears on it, that is weird shit. No.
Not for me, Jeff.
It's not for me. I mean, if you do you. If it floats your boat, go for it. But it's just not. It's not for me. That's because Graham lets rip. It leaves a mark. There were times as a kid he cleared the room. Oh, when Graham lets rip, it leaves a mark. To be fair, if you've got it, stink it. Don't fuck us. Anyway, on that bombshell, we are going to leave. Thank you, everyone that has joined us over the last hour and a half for all of the video game news. To give you a recap of the stories that we've been through today, let me tell you. We kick things off talking about Warzone's new anti-cheat system. Not because we think it's going to be good, but because we're corporate shields and we've been paid a massive amount of money to do that. I mean, we only have just over 100 subs. I say that, we've got 135 subs now because Aratrax is an absolute machine. But we only have 100 subs. And we currently have, I think we've had maybe 20 viewers tops-ish, 25-ish tops in this stream. But still, massive shills that command all of the money in the world because obviously sellouts. Everyone wants to throw money at small channels on Twitch, obviously. But no, genuinely, back to the article. Warzone's new anti-cheat system looks set to be revealed on Wednesday, which is today. So we'll probably have some news on that tomorrow. Do come back for the update. We'll be live around 10 a.m.-ish with the next episode of The Scoop. We then talked about the fact that EA has extended football player likeness deal, aka the FIFA Pro license, which makes sense because they want to use players in their games. Epic Games is now crediting Among Us for the stuff that they ripped them off before. Expect big wadges of cash to be moving there. We'll love a bit of corporate shilling. And then we got a look at Saints Row's open world and the fact that Nintendo Switch will get you 60 hertz games. None of that cheapo 50 hertz stuff. No, thank you. No, thank you. But that is the end of the show today. We will be back tomorrow with more Scoopalicious content. And then on Friday for the final one of the week too. There will be some extra content this week in the evenings. Not sure when or what, but there will be though. So do make sure if you are new here to drop a follow on the channel. That way you will get notified when we go live, whether it's for the Scoop at 10 a.m.-ish or whether it's for evening or weekend content or whatever else. Make sure you do drop a follow. Before I throw over to people, let me jump back through the chat. ASMR is nasty. People ain't watching Amaranth for ASMR or her personality. Bracket, she doesn't have one. Oh, it's gone. She does have a couple of other things going for her, though, says Tito. Easy, Tiger. I got gifted a random sub to an ASMR streamer the other day, says Madge. Of course you did. That means you've been there. Busted. Goodbye, chaps. Goodbye, Aratrax. Madge says, I know. I was following, then unfollowed, then got gifted, so I felt obliged to follow again. Anyway, before you unfollow us or disappear from our streams, Mr. Bib, have you got anything else that you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us for the third Scoop this week. That means we have 2 more left, and if you want to help shape those shows, there is 2 ways that you could do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. If you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, go into the description below. All the information that you require will be listed there for you. But all we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time? Tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day.
I have no idea. I mean, 10 a.m. ish. So we go live at 10 a.m. ish. We are corporate sellouts that do work in the video games industry. Not because we want to provide food and stuff for our families, but because we want to just sell ourselves for the highest bidder. So that's what it is. So the streams work around the shilling. The work, should I say. They come around the work, not the shilling. So yeah, we'll be back 10 a.m.-ish with the next episode of The Scoop and then whatever content around that. Until then, big shout-outs once again to Aratrax for the bits, Chappers for the dono, Aratrax for all of the bajillion subs, Mr. Garlic Clark for extending his sub through to November as well. But genuinely, Aratrax, that is ridiculous. 30 subs in like 4 minutes. Stuff. Mate, chill out, mate. Candy Bear, hey. Enjoyed watching the stream. I actually tuned into Candy Bear's stream last night, mentioned about her singing, and then she proceeded to absolutely smash it out of the park with on-stream singing. So if you want to see someone that plays PUBG and has marginally better singing skills than me-ish, then do feel free to check out Candy Bear in the chat. If anyone wants to do a shout out for Candy Bear, that would be very much appreciated. For now, though, we are going to find someone to drop in on. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic day. And remember, in true Jeremy fashion, to stay frosty.
To stay frosty.
Stay frosty, yeah.
Ben, just as we go, drop in the 9 months. Bye.
Yeah.
I'm dying. Thank you very much,
Bye,
Ben.
mate.
Stay frosty.